Imagine a football game where the scoreboard operator couldn't keep up. A game where every single snap felt like an explosion waiting to happen, where defensive strategies simply evaporated under an onslaught of offensive brilliance. We are not just talking about a high-scoring affair. We are delving into the highest scoring game in American football history. It's not merely about the staggering numbers, it's about the very air in the stadium, the collective gasp, the unbridled roar that accompanied nearly every play. This wasn't just a game. It was a phenomenon, a visceral experience that redefined gridiron chaos. Our journey takes us back to November 21st, 1983, to the legendary Memorial Stadium. The Bay City Barracudas were hosting the Summit City Titans. On paper, it was a rivalry game, but nothing hinted at the absolute fireworks display that was about to unfold. The autumn air was crisp, charged with the usual pre-game excitement, a subtle hum before the storm. Fans, bundled in their team colors, filed into the stands, expecting a tough, grinded-out battle, perhaps a nail-biter. What they received, however, was an unprecedented offensive spectacle that would forever echo in the hallowed halls of football lore. From the very first kickoff, something felt different. The opening drive for the Barracudas wasn't just efficient, it was explosive star. A long pass, a broken tackle, and suddenly the crowd was on its feet, a primal scream erupting as the first touchdown hit the board. But the Titans, not to be outdone, responded immediately with a return for a score of their own. It was a dizzying exchange, a rapid-fire succession of big plays that left even seasoned commentators breathless. The initial hum of anticipation quickly morphed into a frantic buzz, a clear sign that this wasn't going to be an ordinary Sunday afternoon. The air itself vibrated. As the first quarter progressed, a peculiar pattern emerged. Every time one team scored, the other seemed to answer almost effortlessly. It wasn't sloppy play. It was aggressive, high-risk, high-reward offense at its absolute peak. The defenses, usually the backbone of any championship contender, seemed helpless, caught in a whirlwind. You could practically feel the frustration building on the sidelines, but also an undeniable thrill rippling through the stands. It felt less like a carefully orchestrated game and more like a furious street fight, where every punch landed. The tension was electric, a tightrope walk between disbelief and sheer elation. By halftime, the score was already something usually seen at the end of a full game. Barracudas 38, Titans 35. The stadium concourses were buzzing, a cacophony of excited chatter. Fans weren't discussing strategy. They were simply trying to process the sheer volume of points. The smell of hot dogs and stale beer mixed with the palpable excitement of a crowd that knew it was witnessing something truly special. The typical halftime lull was completely absent, replaced by an anticipatory hum. Everyone wondered, could this possibly continue? The answer, as we'll soon see, was a resounding yes. The second half began not with a whimper, but with another bang. The Titans scored quickly, then the Barracudas answered. It was a relentless back and forth, like two prize-fighters exchanging haymakers. Each team refused to yield, each drive a testament to sheer willpower and offensive execution. The momentum swings were dizzying, creating a roller coaster of emotions for everyone in the stands. One moment, the entire stadium erupted in cheers. The next, a collective groan as the opposing team marched right back down the field. The energy felt almost boundless, fueling both teams to improbable heights. At the heart of this scoring frenzy were two quarterbacks, each delivering a masterclass in aerial assault. Their passes were sharp, their decisions quick, and their chemistry with receivers was undeniable. You could almost feel the focus radiating from them, the intense concentration required to keep such a high-octane offense moving. The rhythm of their play became the rhythm of the game, a pulsating beat that drove every drive. The tension was palpable. Every completed pass, every broken play, sent ripples through the crowd. It was a truly epic duel, captivating every single soul present. While the quarterbacks grab headlines, let's not forget the offensive linemen. They fought in the trenches, creating pockets of time for throws and opening crucial lanes for running backs. Their unsung effort allowed this spectacle to truly shine. The clash of pads, the grunts, the sheer physical exertion, it was all part of the raw, guttural symphony of the game. This wasn't graceful ballet, it was brutal, beautiful trench warfare, setting the stage for every spectacular play. Without their tireless work, the high-flying offense would have been grounded, making their contributions all the more vital to the overall ambience. And the crowd. Oh, the crowd. They were more than just spectators. They were an active participant in this drama. Every big play was met with an explosion of sound, a collective surge of energy that pushed the decibel levels to ear-splitting heights. The wave of noise would literally wash over the field, inspiring players to greater feats and perhaps even disorienting the opposition. Chants echoed through the stadium, drums beat a relentless rhythm, and thousands of voices blended into one magnificent, overwhelming roar. It was an experience that enveloped you, a pure, unadulterated sensory overload. Entering the fourth quarter, the score was an astounding Barracudas 65, Titans 56. The air was thick with tension, fatigue clearly setting in for both teams, yet their resolve never wavered. Every down felt like the deciding moment. The pressure was immense, almost suffocating. The roar of the crowd intensified with each tick of the clock, urging their team on, a desperate, passionate clamor. It wasn't just football anymore. It was a test of endurance, a battle of wills, played out under the bright stadium lights against a rapidly darkening sky. The stakes felt impossibly high, adding to the electrifying ambience. With mere minutes left, the Titans launched a desperate final drive, battling both the clock and an exhausted Barracuda defense. Each completed pass, each broken tackle, ratcheted up the tension. The stadium was a coiled spring, ready to explode. You could hear individual shouts from the crowd, mingling with the heavy breathing of players. It was a race against time, a last-gasp effort to claim victory in this legendary showdown. The ambience was almost unbearable, a blend of hope, fear, and sheer adrenaline. This was where legends were forged, in the crucible of absolute, unyielding pressure. And then, with seconds ticking away, the Titans crossed the goal line. A stunning touchdown. The roar was deafening, a mix of elation and astonishment. But wait, a two-point conversion attempt was needed to tie. The tension was almost physical. The snap, the handoff, a scramble, and they converted. The score was tied. But the Barracudas had one last, improbable possession. A long kickoff return, a quick timeout, and then, from midfield, a Hail Mary pass. Could it be? The ball sailed through the air, seemingly forever, a beacon of hope and despair. The stadium held its collective breath. And in a moment that defied belief, the Hail Mary was caught. A Barracudas receiver, surrounded by defenders, somehow wrestled the ball into his grasp as time expired. The stadium erupted. Not just cheers, but a primal, joyous scream that echoed into the night. Confetti seemed to rain down from the heavens, though it was probably just the collective release of tension manifesting as a blur. Players swarmed the field, some in celebration, others in utter dejection. It was an ending so dramatic, so utterly improbable, that it felt scripted. The sheer emotion was overwhelming, a testament to the raw power of sports. When the dust finally settled, the scoreboard read, Bay City Barracudas 72, Summit City Titans 63. A combined 135 points. It shattered records and redefined what was possible in a single football game. But the numbers, as incredible as they were, only told part of the story. The true legacy of that game was the feeling it left behind. The hoarseness in the throats of the fans, the exhaustion in the players' eyes, the lingering buzz of adrenaline in the air. It was an experience that transcended wins and losses, etching itself into the very fabric of American football folklore. So, what did it feel like to be there? It felt like being caught in a Category 5 hurricane of emotions. It felt like watching every playbook thrown out the window, replaced by pure, unadulterated instinct. The smell of victory, the sting of defeat, the collective breath held, then violently released. It was a sensory symphony, the thud of pads, the whistle of the referee, the roar of thousands, the quiet desperation on the sidelines. It was a game where every single fiber of your being was engaged, pulled into the orbit of an unparalleled gridiron spectacle. This game isn't just a footnote in record books. It's a testament to the human spirit, both on and off the field. It's about the players who pushed past exhaustion, the coaches who dared to believe, and the fans who bore witness to something truly magical. The numbers fade, but the goosebumps, the collective memory of that unforgettable day, they remain. It's a reminder that sometimes, in sports, The most incredible stories aren't just about who wins or loses, but about the exhilarating, often chaotic, journey along the way. The raw, unfiltered emotion that makes us love the game so intensely. The 1983 Ironclad Classic, between the Bay City Barracudas and the Summit City Titans, wasn't merely a game. It was a cultural event, a masterclass in the unpredictable drama of sport. It was loud, it was frenetic, it was exhausting, and it was utterly, unbelievably magnificent. The echo of those 135 points still reverberates, not just in stat sheets, but in the collective memory of those who experienced it, and in the imaginations of those who've only heard the legends. It stands as a glorious, chaotic monument to the power of pure, unadulterated gridiron magic. What a game! What an atmosphere!